And when the gods finished, they said, "See our world that we have created." They said, "See the fruit of our seedling." And the dragon said, "From the bones of our fathers was it wrought, and thus our inheritance." And the demons said, "Tremble in fear, for ours is the void, and the world is in it." But life cried out for existence, could not be denied, and so the gods held the dominion of order. Dragons laid claim to the treasures of the world, and the lords of the Fae laid claim to the wilds of the world. But the demons dwelt in the shadows. As our adventurers come back from their journeying to claim a bounty for the slaying of basilisks, you find your way back to the city, having already passed your adventurer friends, or maybe rivals, I should say, something more along those lines. You passed Rough Gruff and his petrified friends some time ago, and you find yourself back at the city before them. If they make it back at all. I mean, Rough Gruff is trying to make that couple-day journey carrying to stone people and basilisk head. It's slowing him down for sure. But as you approach the city gates once again, the tower that rests over the gate is the flame of a dragon who, coiled up as he is, almost looks like the shingles of the roof himself. But as he uncoils, he turns his piercing gaze on you. "You've returned with a bounty, have you? Are you prepared to pay the entry fee?"
I have like a couple vials of basilisk poison. Is it an uncommon item or
Basilisk poison?
Yeah.
The poison is just gonna be whatever the basic poison is. It's not particularly special.
Okay, so it wouldn't even be worth offering for.
Yeah, it's probably like a couple gold a piece. It might be as much as 25 a piece, depending on how good you make the sale. How good you are at making the sale. But yeah, it's definitely not more than that.
Okay. Well, I'll try anyway. I say, from our bounty, we have procured a few vials of basilisk poison from our bounty. I currently have this to offer for now.
My horde has no need for basilisk poison. He eyes you up and down and he says, "What of gold?" "Gold shimmers and glitters. It is very fine for the horde." And he rears up on his haunches as he extends his head down to meet you more at eye level.
Okay.
How? So, because I
am super broke.
Yeah, no,
so I have nothing to offer.
So, from what Ophelia understands, like, how much is a sufficient amount of gold to get into this?
It will be compared to the bounty you've claimed from without the city. So, so here's the thing. He doesn't charge people uniformly because, strictly speaking, this is a bribe, right? He's not like, it's not a part of like the city's workings that the gatekeeper actually takes a tax as you enter. It's almost as official as a tax, just because, I mean, are you going to argue with the dragon? And even if you try to take it higher up, like, is that dragon gonna want you to want to deal with like your trifling matters of how you got shook down by a dragon? So basically he's collecting this unlawfully, but like, who's gonna stop him? He wouldn't collect this tax from like a powerful individual entering the city.
Okay, so how much is like a piece of gold compared to $1? Like, what do you say?
Comparing real world
it's
doubloons.
not a perfect conversion in all things, but I would equate in Montera, in this city, 1 gold piece to be like $10.
Spanish dollars?
Yeah. Typically in D&D, that's not the correct ratio. It's more like 1 gold is $100, but Corridor is a rather wealthy city.
Okay. Man.
Give him like 75 gold. I don't know.
No way. You're not taking my money.
I have 11 gold.
I'm not, well,
You got covered, buddy. Sorry.
I'll just try to be
You guys
charismatic.
are collecting 1,600 gold for the Basilisk bounty, and so if you were to give him like 15% of that, it would be like 300 gold.
I don't even have that right now. So.
Yeah.
He'll take an IOU. You can have it sent to him.
Okay.
Well, but does he even know how much we're making?
Yeah, ledgers are kept for that kind of thing. Because you took an official job when you left the city, so.
And he knows this?
Yeah, he makes it a point to know what kind of gold passes through that he can collect.
Here. I'll
Here, I'm just gonna offer him like, because if we're how much are we making again? We're making like how much?
1,600 gold pieces. So you could
Hold on.
you could certainly afford like a 300 gold tax and still come out pretty well, but yeah. I will say, like, I definitely wouldn't try to go less than like 8%. Anything less than that would be like insulting for sure.
Okay.
And this is also different. When you entered the city, you gave a gift to Mazadon. That is something that he would not have touched. I mean, if this dragon robbed Mazadon, that's a different story. Like, he'd be in major trouble. But, yeah. So this is not the same as that. This isn't a gold cost that affects your rank or anything. Literally just a shakedown.
Okay.
So we can't go any less than like.
I'll offer
Like what is it, 100-ish? What is that?
That's
8 gold
basically
would be like
$200.
$80, but that's definitely lowballing it, right? Like 15%
Okay.
would be like a solid tax.
All right, I'll give him 140. How does that sound?
I was gonna give him an IOU because, like, I was gonna offer.
Well, because I can
It
just
doesn't.
pay for
Well,
it. I have
the
it.
IOU doesn't matter. We'll just subtract it from the gold you take when you collect your bounty.
Okay, that actually.
I'll give him 150 gold because I have 184.
Okay.
I'll just be like,
Okay.
I was gonna say I could split that too because I have a little bit of gold also.
Wait, how much do you have, Sam?
I have 198.
Okay, yeah, we can split it.
Okay.
I can even pitch in.
No.
With me and my level,
No,
my
no.
11 doubloons.
Let's shoot
I can.
let's shoot him up
balloon.
this. Okay. Okay, so that's 75 each from both of us.
Okay. He looks it over and he eyes you up and down and he says, "You're 10 short." Now, there wasn't an agreed upon amount, so this is kind of like him being a little bit of a stinker.
Okay. No.
I have 11. I have 11 gold. I
Let
can
me handle
do the
this.
10.
Let me handle it.
I'm right. I'm almost at 1.
Silence! Let me handle this. Okay. So Ophelia rolls her eyes and she gives him 8 gold
Okay.
with charisma.
With charisma. Yeah, roll persuasion. Roll persuasion.
Can I give her advantage?
Actually, okay, hold up. Roll charisma plus half the amount of gold you added. So charisma plus 4.
Okay.
So persuasion plus 4.
Yeah, baby, yeah. So it's a dirty 20, so 24.
He looks it over. He gives you another look over and says, "I trust you'll be passing by again." And he coils back up on his tower and doesn't say anything else.
Cool.
Yeah, Ophelia, as they pass through the gate, she rolls her eyes again and just kind of like sighs, like, definitely, you know, she's gonna mutter some out of earshot of the dragon.
Hmm.
Because she knows better to mutter anything too nearby.
Yeah. When you're more powerful folk, you can afford to anger dragons.
Oh, she intends to.
I know, you guys started this with a vendetta against the gods, but by the time you leave Corridor, you're probably gonna have a vendetta against dragons.
We're taking all down.
We'll have a vendetta against taxes, basically.
Taxes.
Taxation.
Tax is the real god here that needs to be slain.
Okay. You make your way back into the city, and you're able to head back to the guild hall. I assume you go to the guild hall in the second ring, where you guys were staying, to collect your bounty. And as you do, the bookkeeper... Oh, no, not the book.
Secretary. The front desk lady, receptionist.
You make your way back to the guild hall, and somebody new is working the counter. Obviously, since she can't stay awake night and day for days on end. And
Taking shifts.
yeah, you gotta take these things in shifts. So you go back. Jared is there to help you with your paperwork.
How very unfantasy sounding, Jared.
He's like,
That's an
yeah, I
insult
get
to
that a
all
lot.
It makes you think of what's the character's name from the Lego movie? Like the super basic, generic, like Lego guy.
Bob, I don't know. Mark? I think his name is Mark.
I don't know. It gives me that vibe. It's like, and I'm Jared.
Good question. Emmett. It's Emmett.
Emmett
Emmett.
is not a very
say
basic
Ed,
name,
but I wasn't sure if that was it.
Definitely
George.
sounds basic though. Anyway, Lego movie aside,
Gregory.
let's
Yeah,
get
no,
our.
it's very important for collecting your bounty that we discuss the Lego movie.
It's imperative.
So yeah, you collect your bounty, and they give it to you with the tax to Mazadon already subtracted from it.
So
that's the full
400.
1,600
Okay.
minus the gold you gave to the gatekeeper.
Okay. 533 for everybody, since I did the math really quick.
Excellent. Go ahead and round up to 534,
Ooh, hot dog.
Ooh,
so you don't lose that one gold piece.
we're making the
Every
big
gold
bucks.
piece counts.
Hot diggity dog. We're eating well tonight, boys. A whole extra gold piece. Woo! Drinks are on me.
I mean, one
This'll
gold
this-
piece can get you a dinner for sure. So, Jared, he lays out the sack and he says, "You can disperse that between your party. You can do that yourselves. We won't do that for you. We try to handle the gold as little as possible." And he says, "And also, this was waiting for you when you left. Actually, it arrived shortly after." And he hands you a letter.
Who?
A mysterious letter.
A mysterious letter.
Okay, I will.
Ophelia. Oh, go ahead.
As you look at it, you can see that the letter is encased, or rather sealed with a wax seal. And while you don't recognize the seal personally, it does look very official.
All right,
Fancy.
I'll grab that letter, and I'll grab my gold in the letter. First, I take a look at my gold and feel the weightiness of it. Just sufficient.
It's heavy.
Good. That's the first time he's felt a heavy sack of gold in a while. So this is good. This is good. He's not verbally saying anything, but he's happy with it.
He's smirking a little bit under that helmet.
This reminds me of that scene from The Emperor's New Groove. Oh, feel the power crunk. Oh, I can feel it.
Yeah, this is he's very happy with today's work, but then he puts it in his bag and then proceeds to open the letter and read the contents. What does it say?
It says, "Dear adventurers, I have a proposition for you. I have arranged for our meeting in the 3rd tier of the city. You will be given guest passes to meet me there at this address." And it lays it out for you. You've got like directions in the letter. But other than saying that he has a proposition, the letter is actually kind of bare, right? Like he's not being very forthcoming with all the information.
Bare bones. So as Fane is like opens the letter, Ophelia is like kind of like, because she can fly, so she can like actually like loom over, but she's like kind of like peeking between like because he's got his big full plate, so she's kind of like looking around, kind of getting into space a little bit.
I'm on the other shoulder, looking over too.
and reading it. And she
How tall are you, Gillian? Actually,
I think. Oh, what is my height? I think
Fane is like 6'2", like he's tall.
I think I'm 6 foot.
Okay, cool. So then he's not towering over you per se, but yeah. Then you're.
I'm on my tippy toes, kind of taking.
You're like.
So Ophelia looks at the letter and then she kind of squints at it and says, I love the lack of detail in this letter. Not suspicious at all. Some rich guy. How does he even know who we are? We just got here. He's already invited us. I don't know. I
wouldn't consider it to be junk, but 3rd tier. Maybe a nobleman.
Suddenly the door to the guild hall like slams open and Rough Gruff goes, "Magic, I need magic."
Rough Gruff.
Ophelia cocks an eyebrow as he comes in. She's like, so he did make it.
He's like rolling the basilisk head inside. And
Does that basilisk head still have the eyes in it?
Yes.
Everyone turns to stone.
I feel like everyone in the city has been just staring at him, but just instantly turns into stone.
I'm surprised the dragon didn't take the head as tax. That's what I'm
The dragon doesn't want the head.
He doesn't want the head. He wants things for his horde specifically, so he's not looking to like just find something valuable. He's not going to flip something. He
saw Rough Gruff and it's just like, I don't need to take that guy. He's having a rough day.
Yeah.
He turned the dragon to stone on his way in.
Yeah, the dragon's like, "Whoa!" So, Jared's like, all right. This way. And
Tuesday.
he goes to help him in the back. So he steps out. The counter is unattended for right now, and you are again left to your own devices, where you can study the letter and make your decisions.
I say it wouldn't hurt At least meet up with this individual.
You're right. I mean, it's just, I think it's a little strange since we're so new and this random letter comes out of nowhere. But, I don't know, maybe they heard through the grapevine how we, I don't know, the burglar mugger people that we beat up in the alleyway. Maybe it's from that. I don't know.
It shouldn't be all that of a surprise when a demigoddess walks into the city.
I'm not that
nowhere.
big of a deal, Fane. Now, really, come on. She smacks his armor out. My hand.
I hand the letter over to Gillian, and I ask him, what do you think?
Would I at all recognize anything on this letter at all, since I came from royalty, or is it just kind of just,
No,
really
no, they
familiar.
wouldn't. If this is like a noble house, they haven't done any dealings with your court.
Okay. It's quite bare, as you said. I'm not really sure what to make of it. It seems kind of fake to me, I would say, but I guess it can't hurt looking into it. Who knows? It might lead us to something more interesting anyways. Although, maybe that's not what we want.
I mean, technically, we are here to make some money, so, I mean, maybe the the guy's from the third ring. It obviously has something to do with money. But,
Right.
I mean, I don't know.
But
if nothing else,
why
it'll be interesting
us?
to see what the third ring looks like. We get free guest passes. Oh, so fancy.
You could actually ask and see if anybody else recognizes the seal. Just because you guys wouldn't doesn't mean someone in the city would not be able to identify.
Is Jared back from taking Rough Gruff to a place of healing, or is he...
Anyone else around?
I don't necessarily want to trust everyone just being like, hey, do you know where this came from? Like,
That's fair. That's fair. Totally up to you. You don't know how much longer they're gonna be.
Is there anyone else around who might look somewhat official, like with the guild?
Any other staff in the building?
Yeah, you could look for the guildmaster.
All right, let's
Yeah, Ophelia will start that investigation.
Or is he,
if he'll grace us with his presence, I guess. Then
I was gonna say, I don't want to I feel like people get annoyed whenever we waste their time. I don't know if the guildmaster would want to deal with us being like, do you know who this is? What?
I mean, he works here. It's his job to answer questions. So
True.
So
Probably.
if he gets annoyed, then maybe he shouldn't have taken a job in customer service. Because technically he's working with people. So
Yeah, I guess that's fair.
All right. So the guild master is found in the back room, where he's actually filing through paperwork. On one side, he has like a stack of papers that he's reviewing. On the other side, he has a bunch of gold. As he looks up, he has those slit irises, and he has a hint of scales that almost look like they're encrusted into his skin over the ridged portions of his bodies. Like his knuckles have scaly bits, his eyebrows have scaly bits, his cheekbones have some scaly bits where it gives him a more predatory look. And he says, "Can I help you?"
girl, you need to exfoliate. She doesn't say that.
Not like that. It's their dragon scales.
Man, that needs a little bit of coconut oil. Anyway.
Girl, you need to moisturize. Ooh.
I walk up to the guildmaster and say, we were wondering if you happen to know anybody that uses this seal on this letter. The letter was anonymous.
Take out the letter again. Show it him.
Yeah, and then I say the letter was anonymous.
He looks at it and he says, "Yeah, I recognize it. Why?"
Well,
whoever they are has requested to meet with us, but we don't know very much about the city and the noblemen or women in it, so we were curious if anyone was familiar.
He drops what he is doing and says, "Is that right? Interesting. So you've caught the attention of someone in the fourth ring." "Yeah,
Fourth ring?
that's right. A nobleman from the fourth ring. They're, maybe more of a merchant. They're actually new in town, but, they've been making waves in their monetary ventures. Heard he's actually bought out, at this point, a couple of, businesses.
see.
It's almost unheard of for how new he is in the city."
His name?
Ekir Rike.
Ekir Rike.
Yeah, his title's recent, too. Noblemen who acquire their titles so recently are often sticklers for courtesies.
Alright. What's the title? Where does he hail from?
He was simply knighted. A knight of Macedon. So Sir will be playing. It is Sir Ekir.
Sir Ekir. Alright.
Well, anything else we should know?
I actually don't know that much about him. Other that he has been dealing in some real estate in the city.
Jake from State Farm?
I don't know if that'll help you, but you never know.
Well, the information is already very helpful as it is, so we do appreciate you for that. Nice to know who your letters are coming from, so.
Good luck to you.
And she nods to him and turns to leave.
I turn to leave.
Thank you, sir. And I turn to leave.
Well, a nobleman confirmed.
Well, he seems legit, I guess, but still, it is very strange.
I say, let's hear out this Sir Ekir Rike. Who knows, he might even be very beneficial to us.
Yeah, maybe. Was there a time frame for this meeting on the letter?
Yes. It is for whenever you get in the city, he said to respond. You have the mailing address that you can have a message sent back to him. But he wants to meet as soon as you're available.
Okay, at earliest convenience then. So how do you spell Ekir Rike, by the way? I'm writing this down.
Yeah, that's actually going to be Ekir.
Ekir Rike, okay.
R, and then last name, Rike.
Ekir Rike. Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Well, I don't know about you guys, but my curiosity is definitely piqued. So, are we available?
Certainly.
I would say so.
Alright, well, I guess we better,
We have to send the mail fast.
We will.
Do you have a way Or are you going to deliver it to him yourself?
I'm assuming there's a postal service in the city, right?
Yeah, you can have it sent fairly easily. You can actually, Jared has actually come back at this point, and you can ask him to deliver a message. Not that he currently is a courier, but he can have the message delivered.
Okay. We will have Jared do that.
Excellent. That'll be 10 gold for postage. Just kidding.
Oh,
I was like, oh.
No, it's just a couple of copper, so we'll not worry about it.
Every penny counts.
We don't deal in copper here.
it's beneath us, even in the first
Yeah,
room.
if it costs less than 1 gold piece, then we won't track it. So.
Nice.
Yeah, so you send your missive, and the courier returns immediately with a message, and it's literally just an entire page, right? And it just says, "I'll be there."
It's the SpongeBob
I'll be there. It's like in super dramatic, like calligraphy cursive. I'll be there. Period.
Yeah, 12 exclamation points. Excellent. So you'll be heading on your way then.
Yep.
Cool. You show the letter at the stop point between this part of the city and the upper tier, and as you do, he nods and he gives you like this. It looks like a silvery kind of piece of metal, and he puts it in your hand and he says, "If you get into any trouble, show this. They'll know what it means, and you'll have to turn that in by the end of the day. If you don't have that into us by the end of the day, then you will incur a fine. If that is missing for multiple days, the warrant may go up. Now on with you." He sends you on your way.
Ophelia says, understood. And
The quality of building from the second tier to the third is already quite elite. There is a lot more buildings here that have this beautiful ornate decorations to it. A lot of even mundane buildings, like you'll come across just like a general store or a or a warehouse, and it will still have this fine decoration. And the various city municipal buildings and the fancier buildings like churches have even more so the decoration and ornateness of fine buildings that are more suitable for Macedon's horde. As you make your way through the streets, you get plenty of looks from people wearing 3 and 4 rings in their ear, and they look at you askance with your simple 2 ring marker on your ears. And no one stops you, but you know, they're like, these guys, huh? Sizing you up.
I just ignore them, by and large, and just trudge forward.
Eventually you find your way to the pavilion where Ekir is waiting for you. And he's lounging in a chair. It's this solid gold chair, and he has his leg hooked over one of the armrests, and he's his head is laying back so that it's not against the rest itself. So he's kind of sitting in it,
Draped over it.
draped across the chair. And every once in a while, he snaps his fingers and somebody lowers some grapes into his mouth.
Breathes in rich.
And as you walk up, he says, "Oh, there you are. It's been days."
Ever so subtly, like, Ophelia has a, like, the expression that comes across Ophelia's face is kind of like a,
I say,
Very subtle. She's really trying to not, like, let it show, but she can't help it.
I say, Sir Rike.
He inclines his head slightly, acknowledging your greeting, but doesn't greet you back. And he walks up and says, excellent. Take a seat. And he gestures towards the table, and he waves someone over to scoot his chair in so that he can sit at the table with you. It takes 2 people. Gold is heavy. And he sits down and says, Yes. Well, as I said in my letter, I have a proposition for you. And you should know that it will be of great benefit to you. So, you interested?
Can we talk about what this proposition is first before we talk about
yes,
it?
semantics. I would like to pay your way to the 3rd ring of the city. And he points over there and at the outskirts of the built-up portion of this ring of the city. And he says, there is some opportunity for expansion out that way, and I would like to purchase for you a place of business and also a place for you to stay here in the 3rd ring. I think that that'll be a very fine payment for what I'm hoping that you will do for me.
And what would that be?
Well, I heard about your exploits in the lower city.
Ophelia looks to Fane and she's like, I told you so.
I do not look at you.
Yeah, she doesn't say anything, but she sends a knowing glance your way.
Yes, I heard from the police that they were quite annoyed, and he raises his eyebrows, clearly amused. I was hoping that you could help in the upper city with something similar.
Okay.
My businesses, well, they can attract the same kind of unsavory interference as the Undercity. And, well, shall we say donations to the police can be pricey, but for other folks who value gold more, you might be more flexible in your asking prices. I don't think you can deny that land in the upper city would not be a lot for you.
Well, you're certainly right. You have a lot to offer. And is that really all you want us to, or rather us, would want us to just kick folk out that don't belong there. Properties.
That's right. You're picking it up exactly.
There's ought to be
Really,
more
all
than
I'm
that.
asking you is to do what you have been doing, but do it closer to me.
Is this a
worry
one-time
big people?
gig is this a one-time gig or is this like a consistent sort of deal?
No, of course not. This is for a while.
Oh, yes, certainly. I want a place of operation for you up here as a sign of good faith in our consistent working relationship. Of course, you will be paid per job,
Oh.
but consider the castle to be a bonus. You can do whatever you want with it. It's enterprises. I may even have some guidance.
Okay. Do your payments also come with information?
Information? No, I wasn't offering any information.
Well, we're new to the city. We'd like at least to get to know the area.
Yes. He stands up and he kind of glides over in a willowy manner, light on his feet over to you and says, yes, and he throws his arm around your chair like he's not quite like a firm embrace or anything like that, but he's putting his arm over you like in a warm manner and is like, you seek an apprenticeship. Yes, that is a very valid question. Who wouldn't want to learn from me?
I shrug you off.
Unfortunately, I just don't have the time.
Well,
Anyway.
rather pretentious of you, but no,
So-
that's not what I mean.
So, Gillian, what do you think?
I see. I would have thought you would be in charge, Ophelia. But it is Gillian who's in charge.
Oh, he's a friend, and I value his opinion since he is part of this party, and he hasn't spoken much, so I'd like to hear what he has to say, or what he thinks of this proposal.
Oh, I see. Very well then, I guess you can discuss it.
Well,
Eat your grapes while you're at it.
An excellent idea. Deal.
I kind of,
He's like,
I
Servants, my grapes!
I kind of get over to Ophelia and Fane, kind of make a little huddle. Well, sounds like a deal too good to be true, in my opinion, but I don't know.
Honestly, I don't mind kicking some burglar people's butts as long as I don't have to interact with this thing.
I think it would be a good opportunity.
Absolutely, I agree. I think there's, again, like Fane was saying, there's much to be gained here. I acknowledge that there is a lot to be benefited from as far as, being here in the upper rings, but
The only thing
I guess I just wasn't surprised.
The only thing I'm slightly worried about is him giving us such a good deal just for quite simple work. I'm just wondering if there's something a little bit more to it.
Well, to be fair, we haven't inquired as to what kind of people are being problematic for him, because that may be where the catch is. But to be fair, I feel like whatever it is, we can handle it. But having a permanent place of residence would be nice.
I look at I look over to Rike and I say, so these burglars you say, are they competition of yours?
No. If
Nobody
you're
would want-
insinuating someone from the upper ring is dealing with criminal enterprises, well, let's just say you should be careful with that kind of accusation. Better to accuse people who are a lower rank than you than a higher.
Hey
He's
man, we're
saying is
just
that
wondering
we
what's
were
going
curious
on.
as to who we're going to be put up against, what we're fighting, what are we expected to handle.
I'm sure I don't know. These things aren't telegraphed, you know. Have you ever fought a dragon before?
No. Not yet.
No matter. I'm not certain that would happen anyway. That's the thing.
Ophelia just
I
is
just
just kind of
don't
like,
know.
what are you talking about? What? Fighting dragons.
Well,
That part of it is, to be frank, your job, not mine. I have other enterprises. I pay you to protect my interests. Isn't that your business?
Yes, it's good to be informed, though.
so on top of the gracious bonus of having a home here in the third ring, what are we looking for in payment?
Gold. That's
In
how all
abundance.
deals are made in the city.
In abundance, or is it squalid payment compared to the guild? And I say this sarcastically, but you know.
I offer you a castle and you're concerned that I won't be paying you enough?
I
My,
have debts
you
to
do
pay.
need mentorship in the city.
Well, we have our own stories, our own problems to deal with.
Yes, you can go about your business when I don't need you. I'll call you in when a job requires, just make sure that you're available. In fact, he gives you it's like this little gold dragon idol that fits in the palm of your hand. And he says, this is a sending device. When I need you for a job, I will give you, perhaps, I can guarantee you 3 days' notice. I recommend you do not leave more than 3 days from without the city. In fact, and he waves another servant over, who plops a massive stack of paper down on the table, and he says, it can be found here in the contract that we would sign, of course. Best to do business with contracts, so you of all people should know that, Ophelia. But the point is that 3 days. Any more than that, you might not make it back in time for the job. And that wouldn't be good for a working relationship for you two. Have absences. I realize that will restrict your movement as adventurers, but as far as I'm concerned, when you're not on the job, you can handle whatever you'd like. Lounge about the city for all I care when you're not on the payroll. So, I leave your time to you, and when you're on the clock, I expect you to be at it, to work hard.
All right.
Sense.
I, for one, accept this, but
Ophelia looks at the stacks of paper. If I had reading glasses, I'd put them on. and she like starts to like grab the papers and like kind of skim through them.
It's dense. There's clauses and addendums, and oftentimes it reads like a legislation where it's there's a lot of, and hereby this shall be known as this for the proceeding of, X court and for this purposes. And so it's gonna take you a minute to read through this.
Ophelia has accepted her fate. She knows.
All right.
She indeed knows the importance of contracts.
Fine print.
Yeah, she's not about to let her party get shanghaied.
Yeah.
And he pulls out a rather interesting looking pen and says, "Here, I am sure you've heard about me.
Blood pens.
And in the city, I have made great accomplishments in a short amount of time, and one of the ways I have done that is ensuring that people do what they say they will. So, I would like for you to use this when you sign, and it is in fact a blood pen."
Yeah, Ophelia recognizes it immediately, and she just...
He doesn't just want you to sign a contract, he wants you to sign a pact. His binding is a warlock pact. Go ahead and make an intelligence check to read through the paper. Yeah, and he says, "And I do insist that you use this. It really is better when you can ensure that all parties involved are true to their word."
She says, yeah. She's like reading through all of the fine print.
Okay. What is Fane doing while she's reading through it?
I'm not going to sign yet. I may as well just look through what she's looking through.
Okay, so it's kind of like she reads it, passes it to you, you read it. Okay, go ahead and roll with advantage. Whoever has the higher intelligence can take a point on that check.
-1 intelligence, honey.
Yeah. All right. That's a 15.
You do find some interesting inclusions. You are 14 pages in, and there's a clause here about how you would be liable for any legal entanglements that may arise from this job.
So basically, he's not taking the blunt if anything crazy happens.
Yeah, and as you read further, it's not just that he won't stick his neck out for you, but it has certain protocol that is to be followed should you receive any legal entanglements.
Basically, we say we don't know him, we never heard of him, let it blah blah.
Correct. Yeah. So
Oh, awesome. Shady by nature.
in the contract, he will deny having ever hired you for a job if you should incur legal entanglement.
I knew it. And she kind of shakes her head as she reads it. Like, we can't leave the city, otherwise we get backhanded, but then this?
Yep. You read further, and he's not going to provide any medical insurance. All healing and other kinds of injuries incurred is something you'll have to pay for yourself with your own wages.
Right.
So he's not taking on any kind of liability for you.
Okay.
Your official title as hirelings under his company would be the grape bearers in eminence.
Great.
I ain't touching his grapes.
So we're called grape bears? Crazy.
Grape bearers in eminence.
That does not add
How
any level of...
distinguished.
Yeah, you're distinguished grape bearers. But as you're reading, yeah, that's the title that you're being given, which you notice isn't really anything like what he was suggesting you were being hired for.
So we're keeping... as we're reading through this, I say in passing, we're grape bears, yet not grape bears.
Yes, a fitting title, don't you think? as I think your labor will bear much fruit.
Give me that.
See, she gets it. Fane, do you not have a sense of humor?
I just like I just look at him, like I get the joke, but I just like
No comment.
It's like just a straight face.
Giving him the intense eyes.
His eyes are his like red eyes.
Gillian, surely you have more humor than this human.
I mean, I thought it was kind of funny.
Oh, see.
He's like, oh, sad.
Well,
Yeah. He trades out his grape bearer for a wine bearer.
He's like,
Before you know it, he's down 3 goblets.
drown my sorrows richly.
he's like, I'm not a comedian? What? What have I been doing?
Mommy and Daddy told me I'm perfect.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
I look to Ophelia.
I'm feeling faint, and they waft some gold under his nose.
Smelling salt. Smelling
Excellent,
gold.
I'm feeling much better.
But
It's got a kick.
I look to Ophelia and say, aside from being quote unquote great bearers of eminence, any issues with the rest of this document?
Yes, Fane, I'm glad you asked. So I understand that our circumstances in helping you with your problems with this people isn't traditional in nature. In fact, it sounds like it's pretty unconventional. So much so that we're being held liable in case something gets legally entangled. How does that work? And what situations would we be put into that would make us legally entangled?
Oh, well, you recall, like I said, I would like to hire you for the same kind of thing that you did in the lower city. Now, you remember afterwards your discussion with the chief.
So essentially,
watch.
So you're just suggesting we don't get caught.
Yes, not getting caught would be very good.
Hey.
Listen, I understand what you're insinuating, and I realize that parts of this may seem dubious. And I'll be frank, that's because they are. But I assure you that the money you receive will be good.
There you go. Finally, something honest. Okay, well, that's better.
Okay.
Now that we
And
know
then,
what
so-
we're getting into.
So in the contract, was there anything regarding if we wanted to break the contract at any point, how that would go about?
Oh, termination of the contract?
Yes. 35 pages in, there is a clause of dissolution. So the contract may be dissolved.
By paying a massive fine.
Aw.
Paying a massive fee.
The contract
You
may
must-
be dissolved
Play a dragon
Should-
to end the contract.
should the contract become dangerous to the ventures of the business. The contract may be dissolved by the order of a dragon of the upper city. It may also be dissolved by the wishes of a god or a fey lord. And that it will in fact incur a fee to do so. The contract.
So this isn't the case. So is this in the case of any of those things? So no matter what, even if we get like pardoned per se, or like it's granted to us by someone like a god or a dragon, we still have to pay a fee no matter what?
Yes. There is actually one instance in which you would not incur a fee. The contract may be dissolved if you speak Ekir's true name. Which is a rather odd. I was gonna say a rather odd contract. It certainly sticks out to you. In fact, Ophelia, make a history check.
Wouldn't since Fane is kind of dealing with demons anyway, he would know the nature of this stuff, right? I'm assuming this is like infernal by nature for sure. Like
gotta be, it's definitely Sketcheroonie.
No, I just
that's a nat 20. Nat 20 plus 3. Yeah, baby, let's go. Ooh. Didn't even need my inspiration.
This is strikingly similar to the kinds of inclusions you might see in Fae contracts.
Oh. Oh, Fae have true names too. Wow, that's cool. Alright. We ball.
Does Ophelia know if detect magic will reveal anything? Is he like hiding his true form or something?
That's a great question, and it'll have to be answered next time.
Dang it! This is why we don't go into contracts.
That's why he was willowy. He's like.
That's why, like, oh man, like, we're sitting through this, and it's like.
Ophelia's like, cringe. This seems vaguely familiar.
This, like, it's a warlock pact thing first and foremost, and it's like awesome, great. Awesome. We're dealing with something either like demonic or like of a patron.
Something
funky here. And I'm like, we read the contract and we're like, great bears but murderers?
Sounds questionable to me. Are you sure this contract's sanitary?
Because we.
Well.
Yeah.
From what you've read in the contract, it certainly seems that the deal is largely what he says, that he's not, there's nothing that he has said that you didn't find evidence for in the contract, so he has promised to pay you a certain amount, he has promised to give you 3 days notice, he's promised the Bastion for you to build facilities of your choice. He did put a clause in there, if clause is the right word. If anybody knows more about legal jargon than I do, I apologize. But the point is, though, that he has given you a limit, but with room for expansion. So he's allowed you to choose what kinds of rooms will be built into your bastion, but he's kind of price capped you, so it's like a within reason clause that says that you'll have to stay within the price limit, which functionally for you guys means level 5 facilities for your bastion. It will come with however, non-specialty facilities, including the bedroom, dining room, parlor, courtyard, kitchen, and storage. So, there you have it. Like I said, he has room for expansion, so if you do sign the deal, then he will be the one to expand your bastions later. But he's just going to start you off with 1 room each for specialty rooms. And then after you've built a working relationship, specifically he wants you to do 2 jobs before he expands.
Okay. I look to the rest of the party, and I begin to grab the pen, and I look to the party once again to see if we're good. And is anybody giving signs of like, I don't want this?
No, Ophelia, she just kind of waves her hand to motion you to continue with the signing.
Okay, perfect. Do I have to prick my finger?
Nope. You just have
Okay.
to sign with the pen.
Perfect. I sign with the pen.
All right. He nods and looks to the rest of you to do the same.
I take the pen, and I sign my name.
And lastly,
Ophelia takes the pen and she reluctantly signs her name.
excellent. And he takes the pen back from you, and the papers, and then he hands over to you this other document. This one is much shorter, and it's a legal document from the city that it's a declaration that you are aware that he is paying for you to be ranked up to 3rd rank within the city. So with signing this, he will pay for you guys to have free access to the 3rd tier, and you will get your 3-ringed earrings. So,
Okay.
not a lot of fine print on this one. It's, like I said, a single page. And it's basically a formality.
Sign it.
Excellent. He takes that back. He has you just sign that with a regular old pen. Nothing magical about it. And he says, "It was a pleasure doing business with you. Wow. It was a pleasure doing business with you. You best hurry. It is starting to get dark, and you don't want to pay any fines on that guest pass. Of course, by tomorrow you'll be able to be up here as much as you'd like."
Right. I proceed. I don't say much. I just get up and then get ready to leave, and gesture to the party to do the same.
He waves you a farewell and assures you one more time that he'll take care of the rest of the paperwork, and that he hopes you enjoy your new home.
Perfect.
Ophelia
Thank you, mysterious man.
Ophelia nods and goes towards the door.
Once we're finally out of earshot of Ekir,
Hello.
yeah, as we get out of earshot of him, I look over to Ophelia and I say, "Finding his true name sounds like a wonderful idea."
Wonderful, but I'm sure it won't be easy.
Hardly is with him.
Definitely something to keep an
Actually,
ear out for.
speaking of an immortal, and I nudge over to you, you're pretty complicated yourself.
I don't know what on earth gives you that impression. I'm very simple. She says sarcastically.
I mutter to myself, "Women are not simple."
Excellent. I guess it's with it being almost evening. He's taking care of the paperwork. Your earrings will be delivered to you tomorrow. Is there anything else you wanted to do for the night?
Oh, Ophelia is curious if Ruff, what's his bucket? if his party members ever got turned back to normal.
Hire him?
I mean, I don't know. She is curious.
Pyramid City member. You're
We
like,
can-
I have a
we can
business
go over to that
opportunity for
pyramid
you
real
that I
quick."
just started.
Oh,
You too can be a part of it.
oh no. No Tupperware parties, I promise.
In this contract, you will have to get your own place to stay.
Yeah. You take this great deal and then give him just a garbage one. You're like, we'll pay
Precise.
you 5 copper an hour.
Isn't this great?
Yeah. So, as you make your way back to the Adventurers Guild in the second ring of the city, they direct you to where Rough Gruff and his party are being tended to, and they've altered the bathhouse in this wing of the Adventurers Guild Hall, which is quite a large structure. I don't know if I've mentioned that with all the times you've been here, but it's actually a hulking structure that you can see like well before you arrive to it. It's multi-storied, it's wide, much bigger than a lot of the residences and businesses around it, which is fitting for all of the facilities it actually has. And they take you to a bathhouse that has been repurposed, and sitting within the two of the tubs are the petrified party members. At this point, they are getting bathed in some sort of alchemical solution, and as you walk in, the wizard can't turn his neck yet because it's still stone, but his face is free, and like they've got the faucet pouring down the back of his head still, and and he goes, "Who's there?" The gnome, on the other hand, he's free down to his shoulders, and he he looks over and he says, "It's that other adventuring group." And Rough Gruff sits up. He's been clearly sleeping on the chair. There's a...
Is he
Not
this
naked,
time?
I hope.
He's not naked currently. He's not sleeping currently. You can tell though, because like there's like an outline from where he hangs up his loincloth while he is sleeping on the chair.
Oh my gosh.
a stain or sweat stain.
Oh no, that's gross. Yeah, it's got that stink aura about it.
The stink lines are there, and his loincloth is still on him.
Yeah, disgusting.
He says, "You guys were right. They did have the means to fix petrification."
Oh,
And so Ophelia, as she comes in, she says, "Ah, so they live."
Yes, indeed. They should be fine. They need some help feeding themselves. I've been doing that the last couple of days. and you see the wizard like grimace.
She walks a little closer and she says, "What's the matter, guys? You look stiff."
Uh,
And she chuckles to herself a little bit.
yeah, the wizard's like, "Oh, like I've never heard that one before."
She laughs a little bit. Well, all jokes aside, I'm glad you guys didn't end up as permanent statues. Your friend here, and she gestures to Rough Gruff. He carried you both here. He actually strapped you, and she's like, "I hope you don't mind me telling this," but she to Rough Gruff. But he actually strapped you both to like the front and back of his torso and carried you all the way here. So you
have a very loyal friend.
You do.
The wizard sighs, says, Yeah, that he is. That's why we keep him around.
Trust me.
Lots of sleepless nights, but he'll always have your back. She winks at the wizard, and then she turns to leave.
Loyalty is almost priceless, so it's good that you have him.
He he can't nod, but he says,
A single tear.
you wouldn't happen to be able to afford greater restoration, would you? This is gonna take a while this way.
Well, let me see.
Greater restoration costs 500 gold per casting.
Yep, nope. Hard pass.
Good luck.
Yeah,
That's why they had to do it the cheap way.
yeah, I have cure wounds.
I say no, but
Didn't you just get like 1,000 gold from that bounty?
didn't you get 1,000 gold from your bounty?
No. We only killed one of the 3, and you guys made it here first.
Well,
first come,
if you
first
guys
serve.
are looking for an opportunity to make some money,
Following through, huh?
The gnome with all the knives says, "Is this legal?"
I don't think it would have mattered to you whether it was legal or not.
Oh, it matters. Not whether or not I take the job, but, you know, how much I ask for.
Well, I'm gonna go get a drink, but if you want to, you can
no.
talk to them too.
Ophelia will kind of explains like that they've come into the possession of a bastion and that they're looking for hired help at it. So if they plan to be in the city often and would like a job, it's a possible opportunity for them.
Interesting. We'll consider it. I'm sure it won't make as much as being an adventurer, but...
No, if for whatever reason you want something that's a little more local and you don't feel like traveling to meet a quest, then it's an option. Ophelia jots down their mailing address, or like where they can send the mail to, and she hands it to them. We'll be we won't be staying here at the Adventurers Guild after tonight, so figured if you change or decide what you want to do, this is my contact.
He says, "You can just set it by my back."
Well, she hands it to Rough Gruff.
He's like, no, set it by my back. Rough Gruff will lose it.
Okay.
Rough Gruff
Okay.
says, "It's true."
Well, at least you're honest.
So you leave the contact information, and they are left considering
You don't have much else to do.
They got plenty of time to think about it.
Yeah.
As you make your way to the barracks, you, as I assume you're going to turn in for the night, there is a couple of adventuring parties here this time. You are not going to be staying with Rough Gruff and his friends, as they are staying in the makeshift infirmary. And in their stead, a couple of the sections are taken up. One of them is a small-looking group of halflings that are sleeping in a pile together next to their cots. And they've got all their short swords like leaned up against each other next to them, and nothing too telling about them. But then you come across the other party that is there, and none of them are yet asleep. And as they look over, you can see a gleam in their eyes, and
that's never a good sign.
Their power seems like palpable, and as the first one turns, he has this mark on his face that is using the celestial script. And he regards you as you walk in with it's a rather passive expression. Like, you've been sized up and deemed not worth too much of a reaction. And they turn back away from you without saying anything. So you have the sleeping party in the corner, and then the other party which is awake, but is kind of ignoring you. Not pointedly so. They're not like...
They're a little snobby.
Yeah, they're not like shunning you. They're not trying to like specifically ostracize you. They just didn't feel the need to say anything to you as you walked in.
Awesome. I don't say anything back. I have my mug, and I have my letters, and I just do what I do every night. I just write in my journal, and then write a letter to Liana, and just think. By the way, in terms of resting, I don't, obviously as a Dampier I can't trance, so I would have to theoretically long rest for the 8 hours. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I figured just letting that be known. I feel like we might have disregarded that rule for whatever reason. So, but yeah, it's in my mind now. So
sounds good. As you're getting ready for bed, the last thing that you see before the party closes their privacy screen is that they've begun rummaging through their stuff. They seem to be taking inventory. They're having a conversation with each other. And you see as they pull out 3 magic weapons. You are not really able to identify them without spending more time with them, but if you had to guess, they probably whipped out 3 rare to legendary items. You're not it's somewhere within that rarity range. You're confident that they've got to be at least rare, but they may even be all 3 items, very rare items. And so it occurs to you...
No, this is the snobby party.
Oh, the snobby party. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. The party that's awake. And
fucking drip.
They're talking about their haul and what to do with it. And then they when they wrap up, they close the screen and start to get ready for bed.
Awesome. I'm woke. I just have to sit there for 8 hours, so I'm good.
Yeah, it's a boring life, having to long rest but not needing to sleep.
I guess I could sleep, but I mean, if I don't have to, why should I? But yeah, makes for long nights.
Certainly. Do you have already proficiency in history?
Me?
Yep.
No.
I do.
If you spend your nights reading, after a certain amount of time, we will start ticking off the intellect-based skills and
You know
gain
what?
proficiency in them.
May as well. I'm here for 8 hours. I may as well do something.
Got a lot of
Yeah, you could,
downtime.
you could literally spend your nights in the guild library.
Cool. Awesome.
Studying whatever stuff you think is relevant.
And if your bastion has a library, then you could spend it in those nights there as well.
That is true. That is true. I guess I'll just read. What's there to read?
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess I'll just look up, if we're staying in character. I'll just look up like anything about gods. I guess.
Okay.
Anything about Draga. Anything.
Then religion will be the first one that we hit. Again, if you don't have it already.
Yep. Let's hit it.
Perfect. Okay. Both parties are gone in the morning by the time you've gotten up, and it's just you in the barracks. And with that, you're able to go about your mornings before having to go up to the third ring of the city, where you have been invited to go over to where they're building your bastion, the construction office, and give them instructions. As you take care of whatever you need to in the second tier of the city, you make it to the third, and here is where you get to actually give your instructions for the first 3 specialty facilities that will be going into your bastion.
We're just picking out which ones we want first.
Yep.
Okay. Storehouse for me then, for sure.
Excellent. Storehouse. And then what's the next room that's going to be going in?
Is it the garden's considered a room, right?
Yep.
Then Ophelia will have a garden.
Excellent. And then finally for Gillian.
I will have a arcane study.
Arcane study. Excellent.
So this bastion is being currently built up right now, right? So everything's in construction.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Do you have any comments on the aesthetic of the bastion as they're building it? You have some limitations, like you couldn't go like solid gold walls or something like that, because that would be way out of the
there
price
goes
range
my
you added.
idea.
We're not that bougie. That's not our style.
That's not our style anyway.
He's actually giving you quite a hefty sum though to build in the local city.
Perfect.
So you've got a lot of freedom.
I don't know. I'm thinking kind of like classic stone medieval castle.
Yeah.
Kind of.
That's what I was thinking.
All
Going
right.
like
And Ophelia, she'll definitely want some greenery around the outside. Some fruit trees, maybe some flowers, some maybe a creeping or climbing ivy. Get which one it's yeah, so definitely some plants.
Excellent.
I will for my storehouse, since it's just by and large just mundane items. I feel like it doesn't have too much of a preference, so it would just be like a large array of essentially like a general store of things to buy from. Everything's practical, so anything that a normal person would need at the third tier would be obviously there. In terms of like in terms of like mundane items, right? And as far as the shop, as far as like the look and feel of the shop goes, I would say it's presented at its best. So there's some gold trimmed things around to make it look pretty and nice. And then in it has like our banner as well, our adventurer banner, which is just like this crescent moon, I believe, right? Is that kind of what we did for our party banner?
Yeah, it's like there's like a general shape of a moon with some other shapes and designs kind of around it, but like it's primarily a moon.
Okay. And the builder asks you, he says, all right, we can certainly work with that. The district guidelines say, however, that we cannot actually make the structure taller, that it would overlook the next ring of the city, which does give us some room to play, but you are going to be confined to 3 stories, or if you want vaulted ceilings, then just 2 stories. I hope as well we can certainly work with the stone, that's not an issue. However, the district code again dictates that we actually have to put gilt on the roof, and with it being gilded, for any of the parapets or walkways along any walls that are common amongst more castle-like designs, you will run into this issue that it's really hard to see up there because of the glitter of gold. It's not really conducive to make a proper watchtower. We could, however, put and he goes into detail about how you could put that under the roof, and that's not a problem, but in that case you probably want to do 2 stories. It just depends on how fortified that you want this to be. He also brings up that moats and general booby traps are not allowed within the city.
Okay.
Ophelia kind of bummed when she hears no moats.
Yeah,
Like
no
water
moats,
feature?
no ditches, no spiked walkways. You're not allowed to build an actual fortress in the city, even though the walls are going to be actually kind of a decent fortification. They don't allow anything beyond that. Arrow slits are also banned within the city limits.
Oh, okay.
I think having at least the 2 stories, like, I think we're all okay with that.
We're okay with 2 stories for sure.
That way the gilding doesn't affect the watchtower aspect.
Unless Gillian has something to say about that, but
I do not.
Okay. I do have a question for the builder, or the planner itself, but can we also, if we can't go up, can we go down?
Yes, we can make a basement.
Excellent. All right.
You can't go down too far, and he says there is mines beneath the mountain, and so there is restrictions for how deep we can dig, but in this location, I'll have to check with the city, but we should be okay to dig down.
Okay, perfect. I would like eventually I would like to go and build down. But then I asked the rest of the party, so vaulted roofs or second story? What are we?
Fine, either one. I think for her, she definitely wants to prioritize the watchtower aspect, because she knows that they'll be gone often enough that she wants to make sure that it's very easy to defend, or at least it's optimal, like its design prioritizes that more than other things. That's her.
Okay. I asked Gillian the same question.
I don't think it really matters to me at all.
Okay. Perfect. Okay, I'll stick with second story then. from what it looks like. It seems like.
All right. So generally it needs to be as fortified as you can make it within the city. Okay. Well, doesn't bother me none. Frankly, I don't know why fortifications aren't allowed, considering dragons don't care much for these kinds of fortifications, but city policy, so I hope you understand.
I nod.
Alright, well, we've already started, we've done a lot of the groundwork, and we've got a lot of hands, so it'll only take a couple of weeks. And it is 6 weeks later, one afternoon, that this individual arrives at your castle, which you have now fully moved into. The assistant declares her name as Vita, and says, I am here because you have a job, and I want to make sure that you're capable of handling it. The thing is that I know you've been hired by my employer. I am his second in command. Very prestigious, very prestigious. And what was your title again? Right, grape bearers. But I just wanted to make sure that a couple of grape bearers could handle this before I actually hand over the paperwork. Would you mind showing me what you can do?
No. Just give us the papers. We'll handle it from here.
I don't think you quite understand how this whole business is established. You see, I'm several rungs up the ladder from you, and I think that perhaps you underestimate the sway I have in this company. So, considering my status in the Enterprise, I think it would be in your best interest to show me that you can do this.
Well, I'm pretty sure we showed that we could do this. Otherwise, we wouldn't have been hired. Am I wrong in assuming that?
I was not a part of the hiring process. Ekir handled some of that, minus the scouting, perhaps. But, I just I like to make sure that the company runs smoothly.
So this is out of your own personal curiosity?
Go ahead and make a persuasion check with that.
Okay.
Or maybe it's up to you whether you're asking out of genuine curiosity or whether you're trying to push her. Maybe intimidation would be a better call if you're trying to push her.
Okay. Oh, that's a nat 20, 21.
Ooh.
She says, not personal, it's for the Enterprise. It's...
Well...
Never mind.
You
am going to inspect your house. And she, walks past you and tries to look like she's...
Oh, she's going to inspect the house.
I put an arm to bar her and I say, hand over the papers.
She stubbornly pulls out the papers and hands them to you. She's got a little bit of red in her cheek. You can tell that she's flustered and not making rational decisions at this point. Probably mostly flustered with indignance more than anything else. But she pulls out the papers and goes to hand them to you as she tries to walk straight through your bar where you put your arm. Your arm bar. It's not an arm bar. You know what I mean. You bar her path with your arm, and she's trying to walk through said arm. An athletics check. with an 11, she tries a couple of times, and you're just holding firm, and then she like pauses for a moment. She turns her head away from you, Fane, and like pouts for a second. But after like a moment of thought, she says, "Hey, you're pretty strong," and like puts her hand on your forearm where you're like barring her pass. That.
Ophelia actually, what's the word? She, like that, you know? What is that called? What is it? It's
Smirks?
No, it's like
Turtles? I don't know.
No, it's like where you kind of like, you know, like.
Oh, I do know
Like
what you
scoff.
mean.
Scoff?
Scoffs.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's,
Yeah.
Ophelia immediately knows what she's doing and she scoffs. She's like,
As she's trying to like feel up my arm, I just like push her back a little bit and I say, "Give me the papers."
Oh, she already pulled them out.
oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
So,
Then I retcon. I let go of the resistance, and I let her lurch forward if she is still pushing on it. So.
Okay. She looks at Ophelia and gives like a little harumph and like turns on her heels and like starts marching away.
Is she Fae or?
She actually looks like she was human, but it's possible 1/8 elf.
She's got some. She might have some characteristics in there.
It seems like she might have some Fae quality, but if it is, it's not that strong.
So
she looks mostly human.
So as she does her little humph and like goes to like walk away, Ophelia, as she turns, like she kind of lets out a little bit of like a laugh, like a, and she turns to Gillian and says, "She's so cute."
I just read the contents of the papers as soon as they're given to me.
There is a shipment that is going to be going out from the city, and you are to protect that shipment. Ekir has received word that the shipment will be attacked when it enters the second ring of the city, because as the goods are taken out of the city, it'll have to descend one level at a time. And so he would like to assign you to a position that is in the path where he knows that it's supposed to be hit. He's, as I said, received some intel on the matter.
Hot dog.
Okay.
And should you distinguish yourself in the encounter, then he will offer a 2,000 gold bonus per person who stands out, quote unquote, in the fight.
Oh, okay. So basically, we're assigned to defend this cart that is going down to the second ring, / first ring of the city. And as we defend the cart, as we display our abilities in combat, we'll receive a bonus for it as we defend.
If we stand out according to him.
Yeah. So, yeah. And that'll probably be determined by, like, the merchants that are actually doing the traveling. So if you do a good job, you protect them, no harm comes to them, and everything. And if you particularly look like the MVP of the match, you are likely to get that gold bonus.
Okay.
Yeah. So just a little added incentive that he's giving to make sure that you're not like holding back. Go at the specified time, which is sundown, and you are contracted to be there until sun up, so that whenever the cart passes by, that you're able to keep it moving. You do note that the paperwork actually tells you that you're not to follow the caravan out of the city, which I know he has the intel, but that still strikes you as like somewhat odd, considering you could just defend it the whole way through and then be ready for an attack, or at least be at the staging point and then follow it out. But specifically, you're told in the job to not follow it out.
Okay. So keep a low profile while being able to bring this card out to the outside of the city.
Correct. And he
Okay.
doesn't know exactly how they will be attacking, just when. So, do you want to do anything before the before the actual time arrives? Because right now you're just chilling as you're waiting for, because you don't know when the attack is going to be exactly, just at some point during the night.
Okay. I have a, because I am a dampier, I was wondering if I could use my inherent ability to spider climb and get to a high point to have like somewhat of an overlook on where people could be moving during the night. Is that possible or no?
Absolutely.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, so you're keeping watch. What about Gillian and Ophelia? Anything in particular that I should note before moving on?
I don't really.
I don't believe so.
Yeah, I don't really think so.
I think
Right.
we're just keeping watch.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, she will. So at this time, Ophelia is going to summon her familiar, Prim.
Yes. Prim makes her way to the battlefield, and as you're summoning her, there is this puff of like floral magic, of druidic magic that you can kind of smell in the air. That as Prim arrives, she smells like home and the garden there, and she sits up and stretches as she was clearly laying in the flower bed. You can see like the dirt still on her on her underside.
Ophelia brushes her belly off as she stretches.
Ooh, that's nice.
Sorry
And
to interrupt your nap, Prim.
She purrs. It's quite all right, and she kind of flaps her way up to your shoulder and roosts, and she says, "Did you need me for something in particular?"
So, just for context, Prim is a tressum. So she's kind of this cream-colored cat with like this kind of warm, kind of like orangish hues on like the tips, almost like a
Ragdoll?
yeah, kind of like a rag doll, except where the brown would be. It's like kind of like a soft orangish color. So she turns to Prim and she says, "So we're doing a job, and we are going to be defending the supplies for our employer. So I would appreciate it if you would keep an eye out. So we're already on the lookout for whoever it is that we're trying to defend the supplies from, but I just want you to kind of fly around and keep an eye out for anything that may look suspicious."
She looks around briefly and says, "Goodness, this doesn't look like Avalier."
It is not. We're in a new city.
Oh, I don't think you've summoned me here yet. This seems like it'll be an interesting place to explore. Do we have a place to
Definitely.
stay?
We do. And after we finish this job, I will show you your new stomping grounds, or I guess another place to have stomping grounds, because I know you normally hang out at the cottage at home, but now you'll have two places to hang. So,
As you say this, she begins to purr. And then she says, "I'm keeping watch then? Is that correct?"
Yes. Preferably from the air. Best. Yeah.
Perfect. and she takes off.
Ophelia gives her little chin scritches before she flies off.
Ah, yes. You have to scritch the chin.
Yes, it's a
and
currency.
then she flies off, and you can see that she is keeping a lookout, but she's a little bit distracted by just studying the shinies all over the city. At one point, you can see as like some of the sundown catches like some of the gold in the rooftops, how she like starts chasing the lights that are
It's like, girl, what are you doing? Come back.
yeah. Just
wait, no, Prim, come back, no.
Yeah, let's just say it's a good thing you're telepathically linked, otherwise you might have lost her.
Yes.
Thing that strikes you as odd is that the street itself seems to be eerily devoid of the earlier presence of people about their day, going back and forth. And as the caravan, it's only a few minutes, or like 30 minutes or so, as you've been... Okay, let me try that again. It's been about 4 hours since you guys showed up at this spot. And it's only been the last 30 minutes that things have gotten quiet, and that's when you can see in the distance the wagon making its way down. And it strikes you as odd merely because at this time of night in this area, you would think that the city would have more of a nightlife to it. Prim calls out as she says, I saw something move.
Where?
It's just up the street, on the opposite side of where Gillian is waiting. I think it's just east of where the caravan is going to cross.
Oh.
Can you tell if it's a person or not?
The way they moved together, maybe a group of people, but they seem well trained, maybe, if they're moving in unison.
Okay.
Keep an eye on them.
Will do. You want me to get closer?
Yes, but don't... Try not to be seen.
I'll do my best. From the time that Prim gives the warning, it'll be 5 turns. And that is where we're going to end for tonight. Thank you so much for joining us for Toss the Dice. We hope you enjoyed the episode, and we'll see you next time.